All right, let's take a look at example 6.4. So we're asked to write a function named cumulative product that uses a loop to compute the cumulative product of the input vector. Okay, and so we're told that there is a built-in Matlab function cumprod, which accomplishes exactly this. And so what's nice is that for a given input vector, we can use our function that we're going to write, cumulative product. We can use cumprod and verify that they give us the same answer. All right, so cumprod will be a way to check our code for correctness. And so by cumulative product here, essentially we want to calculate all possible partial cumulative products. And so what I mean by that is, here's our formula up here. And so if p is some vector of length 4, okay, or actually v is some vector of length 4. P, my vector of containing my partial cumulative products, is going to be of the same size as v. Okay, first element of p would just be equal to the first element of v. Second element of p would be cumulative product of the first two elements of v. So second element of p would be v1 times v2. Third element of p would be cumulative product of the first three elements of v, right? So it'd be the product of v3 times v2 times v1. Fourth element of p would be the continuous product of the first four elements of v. So it'd be v1 times v2 times v3 times v4. Okay? And so, in one way in terms of walking through this too, right, one thing we see then is that, p4 is going to be equal to p3 times v4, right? After all, p3 is just v1 times v2 times v3, and so if I multiply it by v4, I get, p4. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. But let's go over to Matlab and let's give it a try. Okay, and so this could be cumulative product. So I have to create this new script. Again, I won't quite worry about the documentation for now. We'll just worry about writing the code, all right, in the interest of time. But this is function res is equal to cumulative product, and it'll have some input of, say, x. Okay, so cumulative product will be the name of my function. Okay, x will be the input vector that I want to compute the cumulative product of, and res will be what I'll return back to the command window. Okay, and so similar to what we've done before is let's create a vector of random numbers. So you want to compute the cumulative product of. So I'm going to do x's, and I'm going to start at rand 1 comma 10. So rand 1 comma 10 will generate a row vector of 1 row 10 columns of numbers uniformly distributed between 0 and 1. Let's say multiply it by 20. So now the numbers are uniformly distributed between 0 and 20. Subtract 10. So now I have numbers uniformly distributed between negative 10 and 10. Then I'm going to round it so that they're all integers. Okay, and so, here is my vector I would like to compute the cumulative product of. Okay, and actually, one challenge I'm going to see already is that here my fourth element is 0. And that's going to be problematic because anything times 0 is 0. So let me go ahead and I'm going to take the fourth element and I want to make it something other than 0. So let me make it 1. Okay, so let me get rid of that 0 just so we get some cool result, right? Yeah, 0 is cool, but not super cool. All right, so what I'm going to do is rather than work with res as a vector, let's say that y is going to be my vector that's going to contain my cumulative sum. So now y is going to be the same size of x. So I'm going to initialize it. Rather than growing y dynamically, each iteration of my for loop, since I know the final size, let's presize it. And when we talked about sums and products before, remember we had accumulator variables for sums. We typically initialize them with 0. When it's multiplication, so continuous product, we typically use 1. All right, so let's use 1 here. Let's do y is equal to 1's 1 comma length of x. Okay, so y is going to be the same size of x, and initially contain just all 1's. I'm going to set up a for loop. So I'm going to go for I is equal to, well, let's do 1 to length x. I'm going to loop over all of x. And based on our discussion we just had, okay, so the first element of yi will be equal to, well, actually, do I want to go from, 1? I suppose not, right? So from our discussion, we said that the first element, so y of 1, was just going to be equal to x of 1. Okay. And so let's start our loop for 2 to length x. And we said that y of I would be equal to x of I times, and so if this is our second iteration, right, so y of I, so yi will be equal to xi times yi minus 1. Okay, so it'll be equal to the previous cumulative sum times xi. Okay, and so let's kind of talk through this, what the heck this means again. So first element of y is just equal to x1. So second element of y will be equal to x2 times y1. Well, y1 is just x1, right? So y2 will be x2 times x1, right? Good, exactly what we wanted. Third iteration, y3 will be equal to x3 times y2, where y2 is x2 times x1, right? So again, we get exactly what we want. Okay, and so that should be it. And then what we want to return with res is y. Okay, so if I save that, okay, we could test it. So my solution would be equal to cumulative sum well, so it's a matter of I spelled it wrong. Yeah, or cumulative product, which I've spelled incorrectly. Cumulative product of x. Okay. And so I have an error message on line 16. Oh. What the heck did I just do? Okay. So somehow I deleted the cumulative product in my signature. Okay. Undefined function or variable length. So I spelled length incorrectly. Save it. My soul. Okay, that's it. Now if I try using Matlab Solution, so we were told we could use cumprod of x. Right, cumprod x appears to be exactly the same thing. If I want to check, I can do my soul minus right, and the difference between the two is exactly 0, right? So they're exactly the same. Okay, so that is cumulative product. Okay. Another way we could have did it is here we took advantage of knowing that for my ith partial sum it's equal to x of I times the previous partial sum. You just as well could add a nested for loop to loop everything up or sum everything up. So what that might look like is I'm going to save a copy of this. We'll call it just 2. So the other way I could think of this is, let's delete that, assigning the first element, and now I'm going to do I is equal to 1 to length x. And what I'd like to do is I'm going to set up a for loop for j is equal to 1 to, I'm going to go up to I. Okay, y is initialized with the value of 1. So I'm going to do y of I is equal to y of I times x j. Okay, and let's see if this makes sense, and let's see if it gives us the same result. So I'm going to loop over my entire vector x, okay, and for each element of x, I'm going to loop from 1 up to that element, okay, and my cumulative product yi is equal to yi times xj, okay. So first time through, I is equal to 1, so then I hit this for loop, and I'm going to go from j is equal to 1 colon 1, so it's not going to do anything. Okay, so maybe then, instead of initializing, y is equal to 1s, I could keep that, but let me tread back on myself and let me say x1 is equal to x1. Okay, so let's take care of the first iteration, and let's start with 2, right? Because what we just saw is that in the first iteration, it's not going to do anything in the second for loop because it's just going to go from 1 to 1. Okay, so now I have it set up, so I begin with my second index. So now I'm going to loop for j is equal to 1 to I. So first time through, I is equal to 2. I hit this for loop, and I'm going to loop from j is equal to 1 to 2. And so y of 2 is going to be equal to y of 2 times xj. Okay, so first time through this loop, j is equal to 1. So it'll be y of 2 is equal to y of 2, which initially has a value of 1, times x1. Come back around, and y of 1, or y of 2, is going to be equal to y of 2, which currently has stored to it the value x1. And I'm going to multiply it by x2. Right? Cool. All right, and then now I loop back around. So this should work. So let me do my sol 2 is this cumulative product 2. Okay, and if I compare it to Matlab, all right, good. Exact same answer again. Cool. Okay. Then the last thing I'm going to do is, since I'm initializing y with the value of 1s, and y1 is equal to x1, is there a way where I could just say initialize y is equal to x? Maybe not. That's not quite as clear. Okay. So, there's two different ways that we were able to compute cumulative product. Both work, and they both work exactly the same. Okay, cool.